Well, the term actually comes out of architecture, and I'm not sure exactly. It had to do with architectural style, but it got picked up by a lot of other people. My understanding of it, and this could be, I don't think this is idiosyncratic, but this might not be, universal. But my understanding of it is that the only way to understand postmodernism is to talk about modernism, and modernism, philosophically, I think, basically means from Kant forward. So I would say that whole description that I gave before of Kant's notion of mentality and the world is sets the conditions for what we think of as modernism. So the idea that there are limits to what we can know, but we can have objectivity, we can have science, and we can also have. Kant certainly believed in ethical law, which was another thing that's basically a result of the way human beings think. So we get a subject-object dichotomy, but it's a very complex relationship between the subject and the object. Those are part of modernism. There's a kind of optimism that goes along with the scientific revolution and filters through all of modernism, the optimism of progress. We're getting better, we're getting more moral, we're getting technologically, obviously better. We're learning more. Science is cumulative. There's no reversals. And I think all of those things came into question in the late 20th century. The notion of progress, moral progress, scientific progress, technological progress, all of those things came into question. Not that people have given up believing that that progress is kind of inevitable. I find that my students believe that. They're a little worried about it, but they tend to believe it. People think we're better than people were back in the Middle Ages when they, executed witches. Those sorts of things. But I think that bringing into question the notion that progress is inevitable, that civilization is marching on, is one of the definitive aspects of postmodernism. Another is bringing into question that subject-object dichotomy, both as a dichotomy, as two different things, and also as two things that can interact given the conditions of their difference. So there's a lot of questioning of objectivity. There's a lot of questioning of subjectivity. You've probably heard some of these things, the death of the author, for example. Some people say Foucault says there's no such thing as a subjectivity, but actually that's a misreading. He believes that there is subjectivity, but that subjectivity is historically shaped. Not that it's not real, but that it's historically shaped. So I would say that postmodernism is a kind of questioning of modernism. It doesn't necessarily have any of its own particular views, which is one of the reasons people find it harder to find and find it confusing. There's a lot of interrogation of assumptions.